A very good morning to all. I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending today's meeting. Okay, today's meeting will be concentrating on the topic of carbon emission. But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ashwini Kumaraguru. I'm the secretary of Versal Sandran Berhad, whereby we manufacture agricultural chemical products. Okay. Together with us today, we have Miss Vino, which is the admin officer of Versal Sandran Berhad. We have Miss Kavi, HR officer of Versal Sandran Berhad, and also Miss Shamila, the safety officer of Versal Sandran Berhad. Okay, carbon emission. When we talk about carbon emissions, we are actually focusing upon the carbon dioxide, which we very known as CO2. CO2, as we all know, it is commonly found around our surrounding air. But then, with this carbon emission coming out of our production facility, the percentage of carbon emissions, the percentage of carbon dioxide in our surrounding air has increased. This does not only will lead to hectic situations, but then mainly it will cause climate change and environment issues upon our global wise. So, where does CO2 actually comes from? So, mainly it is extracted from transportation, burn of fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oil. So, this extra release of carbon dioxide and other gases upon this atmosphere, it is hard for our environment to uh, use this CO2 as a process of photosynthesis, because day by day the number of trees are getting lesser. So, long story short, today we will be discussing on how we can reduce this carbon emission, which is coming from our production facility. And to talk about this issue more, I would like to call upon Miss Kavinita, Miss Vinojani, to discuss and to give us what are the impacts of these carbon emissions.
Thank you. Moving on with the issue have been stated, it also affects human health in this case. The heavy emission from our company releases potentially hazardous pollutant into the air, which in turn affect human health. There are a number of forms of our company pollution. It also affects air quality, which will cause widespread environmental problems. First of all, is particle pollutant, which is a form of carbon emission released from our company. This form a major portion of the contaminated air released from industries. Particle pollution, also known as PM, is linked with most of the pulmonary and cardiac diseases. Particles of smaller size cause the lungs and heart disease by reaching the respiratory tract. Next is sulfur dioxide colorless, highly reactive gas, which is considered as an important air pollutant. It is mostly emitted from fossil fuel consumption, natural volcanic activities, and industrial processes such as our company, which is agricultural chemical company. It is very harmful to human health, which cause disease. Therefore, it strikes on human by causing few disease. Uh, with this type of emission release, and one of it is cardiovascular disease, CVD, is a class of disease that involve the heart and blood vessels. It also causes respiratory disease and decrease lung functioning capacity. Moreover, human might also have headache, dysphonia, chest pain, coughing, and wheezing with this issue caused by our company. That's all for the issue and explanation in detail from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Vinojani, from as the admin officer of Versus Sundan Berhad, for giving us your point of view upon the impact of this issue that is arising day by day in our facility. To come upon the suggestions and the opinions from Miss Kavinita and Shemala as a way to reduce this issue, and together upon our company, our facility to be a sustainable company in the future. Let me welcome Ms. Kavinita to share with us her suggestions on how we can reduce this issue.
Thank you, Ashwini. There are a number of precautionary measures that our company can take to overcome this issue that arise. Is we need to reduce fossil fuel dependence. As everyone knows that coal does serious damage to the environment. Coal is the top contributor to climate change, and it's also leading cause of mercury pollution and continues lead to the environmental pollution. Burning coal to produce energy creates a carbon dioxide emission, and it's also contribute to terrible climate change. Therefore, our company should take a serious effort to switch to sustainable energy sources such as wind or solar power can help to reduce the daily carbon emission, and this is the way we can improve the air quality as well. Apart from that, incentive that our factory should take is in order to minimize the carbon emission is we should consider to minimize the work shift while also attempting to optimize the manufacturing operation, because more energy efficient operation tend to reduce the quantity of the quality caused by our country. Company can save energy by optimizing several aspects of their operation, lowering overall facility emission. For example, our company need to consider operating for only one shift a day. Our factory, as everyone knows, is open for 24 hours a day. Therefore, I would like to suggest that our manufacturing should be limited to 8 to 12 hours of operation every day. Therefore, we can reduce the rate of carbon emission that leaves to the atmosphere. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kavinita, for sharing us your suggestions. It was one of the great list of suggestions we have over here. Further upon, I would like to proceed with our next candidate to share upon her suggestions as the Safety Officer of Versal Sundan Berhad. Let me invite Ms. Shemala upon.
Thanks to our secretary, Miss Ashwini. First, very good morning to everyone. Okay, I would like to share some few points from my side, which is measure and analyze greenhouse gas emissions. The first step for analyze company that wants to reduce its impact on the planet and the environment, and therefore help to reduce climate change, is to measure its greenhouse gas emissions. For this end, there are many private agencies that are carbon footprint certified and can help companies measure their CO2 emissions. Once GHG, which is greenhouse gas emissions, are known, they must be analyzed to see which of the company activities are the highest pollutants. Once this analysis is done, companies can then begin to consider solution to reduce their emissions. My second point is optimize employees' transportation. As we know, transportation is one of the largest sectors of greenhouse gas emissions. By encouraging employees to take public transit, to carpool with other colleagues living close by, or by giving them discount on public transportation, companies can significantly reduce their indirect CO2 emissions and therefore their impact on climate change. Okay, my third point is carbon filtration. We can fix the carbon filtration, such as we can use some equipments such as air intake. Okay, air intake, Donaldson's air intake system protect and performance using advanced filtration technology to extend overall engine life. Okay, we have one more filtration. The name is cabin air. Donaldson cabin air filter remove soot, dust, allergens and other harmful irritations before the entire vehicle cab, keeping the air you breathe cleaner. I think these are the points from me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity once more, and thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Shimala. Thank you for those wonderful ideas. Okay, I think we have come to an end of our discussion. Upon the list of methods that I have gathered upon, both Ms. Kavinita and also Ms. Shimala, I personally feel that the best method to reduce carbon emission for our facility will be by filtration, which is by filtering our production facility chimneys, because that is where the main cause of carbon emission is being produced, whereby the carbon emissions is flowed out through the chimney to the air, and also that's how the overall carbon is being the overall environment is being polluted with excessive carbons. And also the next method that I feel that it is really advisable for our company will be us to switching to sustainable energy sources. This is because it doesn't mean that only with coal as our main fossil fuel energy to use as our agricultural chemical. In abroad, there are also many ways that the Englishmen and also the Americans have brought upon, which are, as what Ms. Kaminita said, through wind and also through kinetic energy sometimes. So I think that by some research and development being done upon these energy sources, other than fossil fuel burning, we can convert our main energy sources to other than something which will be endangering to our humankind and also to our environment overflow. Last but not least, this is quite my favorable, but then it is quite irrelevant. But then we will try to squeeze in somehow upon this suggestion, which is to reduce mass production by working only one shift per day by workers. This is because, as we all know, Malaysia is going through crisis. We are going through pandemic breakdowns. So, upon this matter going revolving around, we have PKP and PKPD and PKPB going one by one all the time. So with this suggestion, I think we can not only reduce the carbon emission, but then throughout we can also break the chain of this pandemic crisis, which is arising day by day. This is because, as we all know, we have to stay 1 meter apart. So with having like one working shift in a day, so we will be able to rotate the other shift as well. So it will be a great solution to having both both things to be settled at once. So yeah, I think the superiors and also the management department who holds upon our CEO and also our MD would like to hear upon these three suggestions, which is filtration, switching to sustainable energy sources, and also reducing mass production. So I think that's all for today's meeting. Thank you so much for attending. It was a great pleasure to hear upon your ideas and also your suggestions too. That's all from me. Thank you so much.